Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with the 6 months 60 books. Well, not really 6 months 60 books because I've definitely gone over the 6 months, but I'm going to keep doing it till I get up to 60 books. I've got a stack to actually review over there. I'm doing 2 today. I've got some already on YouTube that I haven't actually officially put out there yet. It's still marked to private, but this is a advanced book. This is a book that hasn't even come out yet. So massive thanks to the publishers for letting me have this book to review. And it's a debut novel, and it is by Kassandra Montag. It's called After the Flood, and it's out on the 19th of September 2019. Okay, so this book is an amazing debut novel. I cannot believe how strong the author's words are. Okay, let me just read the blurb at the front. Here we go. The world is mostly water when Pearl is born. The floods have left America a cluster of small islands with roving trade ships and raiders. Pearl knows little of her father Jacob, her elder sister Ro, who left her mother, Maya, when she was pregnant with her. Although their life is a tranquil one, Maya still aches for their daughter she once lost. When a chance encounter reveals that Ro might still be alive, Maya packs up 6-year-old Pearl, and together they begin a dangerous voyage across the waters to the valley, where rumours of violence and breeding ships run rampant. Finally they find solace on board Sedna, filled to the brim with supplies, an able crew, and closer to finding Ro than they ever had been. But to get to Ro, Maya will have to deceive everyone around her, betraying the trust of those she's come to love, and asked whether she's willing to sacrifice everything and everyone for might be nothing at all. Okay, so this is a dystopian novel set in the future. Paradise cows have melted, the world is flooded, and it's set after hundreds of years war. So basically, humanity is trying to rebuild itself of what's got left, but there's nothing left. Literally, humanity is like nomads on boats, trying to kind of forge an existence. But things like when the economy is ruined, currency is now non-existent, people now barter and trade. Things like plague is also rampant. Sepsis is very much prevalent because there's no antibiotics to fight off diseases. And yes. So this is as an example, okay? This is Maya, because this is all told from Maya's perspective, looking back. I was 19 when the 6-year flood began, and I just met Jacob. I remember standing next to him watching footage of the White House flood, only the flag of the roof visible above the water, each wave soaking the flag until it lay sagging against the pole. Imagine the interior of the White House, so many faces staring out of its paintings, water trickling down hallways into all its chambers, sometimes loud and sometimes quiet. The last time my mother and I watched television together, it was in the second year of the 6-year flood, and I was pregnant with Ro. We saw footage of a man lying on an inflatable raft, balancing a whiskey bottle on his tummy, grinning up at the sky as he floated past a skyscraper, trash flying all around him. There are many ways to react as people, she always said. Yep, yeah. As an example, this is the end of days, if you will. So, Maya and her daughter Pearl live on this boat called Bird, which her grandfather built after her husband abandoned her with their daughter, Rowena. And they're trying to eke out existence, and then after they take on Daniel, okay, who was kind of adrift at sea, their boat sinks, Bird sinks, and is picked up by Sedna, which is kind of like a collaboration, a kind of commune of individuals where everyone works together for the whole. And the fact is that Maya's heard about her daughter might still be alive. Okay, or there's a possibility, very slim possibility. But now she's trying to manipulate the world around her so she will get to see if Rose still is. But she doesn't know. And Rose at the time, if she's of a certain age and she's captured by the raid, she's taken onto a breeding ship, and you can kind of guess what happens after that. Okay? So, yeah. As a character, one thing I liked about Maya is actually very flawed. She's entitled. She keeps things to herself. At the same time, you admire her actions because I think any parent would do this. But also at the same time, you kind of like you're putting everyone at risk by not being honest. There you go. And this is when, because at various points, Maya kind of looks back on before to the now. Okay, and this is a world where the now is, well, you find out that no one's brushed their teeth in years because there's no toothpaste. Things luxuries like toothpaste are a commodity. There you go. I didn't know how to talk to Pearl about what lay beneath us. Farm that fed the nations, small houses built on quiet residential streets for the post-World War II baby boom. Moments of history between walls. Pearl's story of how we moved through time, marking the earth with our needs. For that cruelty to bury the earth, to take it all away. I look at Pearl and think of things she wouldn't know. Museums, fireworks on a summer night, bubble baths. These things were almost already gone by the time Ro was born. I hadn't realised how much I'd lived to give my child the things I valued. How my own enjoyment of them had grown dull with age. There were times when everything was so dark against the sea, and I felt it already erased. It seemed like a kindness that life before the floods had gone on as long as it did, like a miracle without a name. The thing about Pearl is Pearl was obviously born at sea. Sea is the kind of world she knows. She has this thing about snakes. She kind of collects snakes. They're what they're good for, obviously, pets. So pets and pests. They kill other animals, of course. So I just imagine this girl, this kind of nomadic girl, just wandering around with snakes coiled around her. I don't know why, but I absolutely love Pearl because Pearl's a character. She's quite young, and yet obviously she's grown up in this half land, and she's very, very open with her mother. She calls her mother out on all her rubbish, like, "Why are you doing this to find Ro? Do you love Ro more than me? Why is Ro so important?" Because she never knew her sister, and it's that kind of conflict as well. Because obviously, as Maya's keeping secrets, Pearl is also forced to keep secrets, and Pearl is kind of really finding a life among these nomadic tribes of the Sedna. Okay. And I just sat there thinking, I wouldn't be surprised, as I was reading this, if Maya just left Pearl behind, because Pearl obviously has made her home there. It's kind of confusing. What would you do between the home you've made and your secret desires? There you go. So, third one. So on the Sedna, okay, there is obviously things to worry about. There's conflicts between the crew. There's issues between Daniel, okay, the guy she picked up, and the captain of the ship. And I don't want to spoil this. Okay? But the fact is that Molly's a little bit of a hypocrite as well, because even though she's always going on about looking forward, she's always looking back. She can't help that. Okay? And this bit here. I'd worry about starvation, storms, raiders, but I hadn't spent any time thinking about illnesses. How quickly they could wipe out a whole community. I hadn't thought about illnesses because I could do less about them than I could about anything else. You could hold a child's hand as an illness broke them down, but that was all I thought. You can't protect them from everything. You can protect away from her own father. Maybe he was protecting her by taking her away from me. Yeah, that kind of thing. She keeps looking back, whereas Pearl is looking forward, you see? So, my biggest issue though with this novel, okay, is essentially in this world of valleys and Los Abbots, which is kind of a community that's being kind of set up, which has a library, okay, it's kind of trying to build this world where everything's against it. And the Raiders started off as like a small conglomerate, and now they're basically like the pirates. Let's say the Pirates of the Caribbean, okay? And they're a bit more ferocious because obviously they take young women and use them as breeders, okay? Yeah, okay, they use them as breeders. Um, so it is a conflicting book, and also one thing I do like about Kassandra Montag is that she knows how to build a world. So I understand the world, but at various times, it's how it's executed that is a little bit problematic. It's the sort of things like Maya's deception, how suddenly why is her niece suddenly more important than everyone else's? Because at the core, Maya's quite selfish. Even though she's in this community, she's only looking for herself. People died trying to protect her. Pearl is kind of adopted as kind of a daughter of the Senator tribe, but at the same time, Maya is always looking out for an exit strategy. So, I don't want to spoil this book at all. I just want everyone to kind of enjoy the enrichment and enjoy this world, because one thing I absolutely loved about it is that the ending, I'm not going to spoil the ending before the book comes out yet, but this is a book that is drenched in realism, okay? That's it. This book is drenched in realism. But my other issue about the ending, the Justice Machina, okay, the big twist is, okay, is it happens roughly 30 pages, so 25 pages before the end, okay? 25 pages. in a book that's over 400 pages long. That should have been set earlier. That should have been a bit more above. Building this world is one thing, but at the same time, at a sacrifice of what's going on. Sometimes it felt ages before things actually happened. Because we're building on the people of the Sedna, the community of the Sedna, the world before, the world after, the Lost Abbots, the Raiders. Now, I don't know if this is a trilogy of books, but I truly, truly hope it is, because I want more of this world and the life of Pearl and the life of Mina and the life of the Sedna. Okay, I want more of it. So, but as a debut novel, I cannot believe how strong the words are. I mean, this is things that are of the world being flooded. It's an old cliche, okay? So that it happens all the time. Okay, in fiction these days, dystopian fiction is a lot about the end of the world like this. But I want to see now. I want a sequel to this book. I want to see more of it. I want to see Pearl growing up more in this world. And but I do give respect that unlike a lot of characters or authors who made their debut protagonist, okay, and Mary Sue everyone loves me type, she's made her flawed, egotistical, pretty selfish. And one thing interesting as well is Mina cannot really ever really take responsibility for her own actions. She's very entitled like that. It's always someone else's fault. Yeah. So, as a fantastic debut novel, I absolutely loved it. I do recommend it. It comes out on the 19th of September. Okay. Um, it's an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Thank you so much for the advance read. And I hope everyone likes this book as much as I did. Okay, so sign off here. And bye now.